Tonight, we got a super legend. When I talk about damn near 40 years in the game,
Yeah.
40 years in the game, and still doing amazing things, still touring, still killing it, still packing out. Like, never trust a big butt and a smile. I was burned in my head from the time I was 5 years old.
That's a fact.
And yet,
To this day, this is why. But this is why I have issues with my baby mothers. So I don't trust them. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is part of it. You know what I mean? We talk about New Edition, changing the game.
oh, that's bigger, man of God.
Yeah, I don't know what the big. What we gonna do, bigger? I don't know. Somebody gotta like to do it. We talk about New Edition. We talk about Bell Biv DeVoe. We talk about groups like ABC, Boys to Men, like you name it.
This is not gonna work out well.
And so many more artists. This man was responsible for changing the game so many times, and we get to hear his story tonight. We got Michael Biv.
Yeah.
D-Town.
Not only that, let me just be clear, what network?
No.
AMC.
AMC.
We TV.
We TV, there's gonna be a special.
And all black.
All black.
Yeah.
Michael Bivins has a special coming up. It's dropping the
August 24th.
August 24th.
Docu-film. Mm-hmm.
Go check that out. We're gonna try to get as much out of him tonight. Like, I got a feeling you're gonna have to go watch that doc to get the full story. All right? Mm-hmm. How you doing, sir?
Bless. I made it.
Yes.
6 months.
We've been talking about this for 6 months. That's a fact.
But
That's
you know
a
what
fact.
it was, though?
Yeah.
You know how some just talk because they just feel like they sitting home and they fiending for something?
Right.
I feel like I wanted to wait until I really had something to say.
Right.
And that's why I kept saying, bro, just let me get the doc done.
Right.
And I said, with the crew, you know, watching y'all all the time, I just said that when I first step out and do my first interview, this is it right here.
Right.
That's a blessing right there.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, my legal brethren.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Yes,
King.
Happy birthday to you
Yes.
coming up.
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Double nickels, double nickels.
Leo.
Yes.
Leo. The characteristics of a Leo.
Leo's in the building.
There's a special confidence that comes from being a Leo that you have exerted since the start of your career. Tell us about the early years.
Well, where you want to go? You want to go my early or the music industry
We
early?
want to go.
There's a difference.
Yeah, the nappy-headed kids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? On stage, killing it.
That. All right. Well, to be honest with you, right? For me, I wanted to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
So my love is ball, street balling, dipping, and da and all of that. And that's kind of like how we met. There was a recreational center in our project called the Orchard Park Rec Center.
Right.
And it was only 4 teams, 13 and under. Ralph and Ricky was on the Celtics. Me and Bob was on the Warriors and the other 2 teams. So we kind of got familiar with each other in the rec center,
Right.
playing ball. And it was just interesting that after the games, we would shoot up to the nightclub and they would do matinee talent shows. And we would see Bob kind of in, you know, the talent shows being Michael Jackson, James Brown, whatever.
How old were you at this time?
Shit, when we was balling, well, I started at 8. I think they joined the league maybe when they was 10. So this is like about 1978. This is around 1978.
Listen. This is why you new age kids and your iPads and your Xboxes in the crib all the time.
Yeah.
These guys was playing ball and going to talent shows.
Yeah.
Like, come on, let's talk about it.
But I wasn't in the show. I'm just looking at Bob, like, wearing disco shoes and shit. I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
But that was his thing. He was a pop locker.
Right.
And Ricky and Ralph were a duet. So they was going to Jamaica Plain Project, singing and doing stuff there. I was just strictly in the projects playing ball. And I think just watching the challenge shows, we looked at it like, you know, let's start a group. So me, Ricky, and Bob started a group. and we added 2 more members, Corey and Travis. They're in the movie, right? And that was New Edition, 1978. And we just did 1 rehearsal with the Godfather, Brooke Payne. And he's like, nah, y'all ain't got it. But that day, he had a 8x10 picture of Tavares, you know, Penny for Your Thoughts, all that. And he said, but you know, y'all go work on y'all stuff. Y'all not really ready, but just the name of y'all's group. And he wrote New Edition on the picture. And that group kind of just fell apart for 2 years. And then Rick had the magical answer. He said, yo, I got that dude. We was like, well, who? He said, Ralph Tresvant. We was like, oh, shit. So in 1980, it was just 4 of us. You know, Ron came a little later. But we was tearing up the talent shows, this, that, and the third, winning everything. They kicked us out of talent shows. They was like, nah, y'all niggas is always winning. So we became special guests. And then Brooke and our other managers, Travis, he was like, yo, man, you know, these shits is packed, we winning, let's throw our own shows. And Brooke was like, all right, well, if we're gonna do our own shows, let me add another piece. So here come Ronnie. Because everything with Brooke is when the lead singer's getting fly, he wants steps to the left. So he does everything in pairs. So Ron joined in around 1982, and then that's the Candy Girl crew. That's the story you're asking about.
Awesome. Legendary. That's awesome. So, okay, all right. The Candy Girl crew. The record, once that hit, like, what was the response? How did your life change?
Well, shit. When it was on the radio, it was on a college radio station first, WRBB. Shout to Skeeter. And, you know, back then we had a...
How old were you at that time?
We were like 83, like 14.
14.
Yeah. So we trying to call each other, but we only have 1 line ways and shit. So niggas is calling, but the line is busy. We're calling each other at the same time. Yo, you listening to the radio. And it was different because people thought they were listening to Michael Jackson, but they was listening to Ralph Tresvant. So people was like, oh, you heard the new Jackson 5. It was like, no, that's New Edition. The name is still building in Boston. And it just seemed like when we went outside in the projects, you know, a little more looks from the girls with the, you know, the Vaseline on the hair and shit, you know. I'm balling and I'm up at the boys club Saturday mornings playing junior pro. But remember, Soul Train came on Saturday mornings. Niggas is like, yo, I just seen you on TV. I'm like, nah, nigga, that's a tape show. It's like, oh, so you could just feel as teenagers, we started to become popular. And we were still like heavy in the projects. Mamas were still getting food stamps. And we was just, you know, we was learning how to deal with the popularity. You know,
but the popularity and the money was not balanced
out.
Well, to us, the money was good because we was getting $50, $25. So 14 with 25 and 83, nigga, that's a stack. That ain't that bad. I think what y'all talking about is when we went on tour. But nigga was giving me $25. I'm buying sneakers. I'm thinking of some Converses, a t-shirt. That felt like money. And I think as we started touring and getting into that money, then that's when it started getting funny.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.